than 1 million people wanted tickets for this rally, but we all saw the pictures last night. The arena was no more than 2/3 full, and the outdoor rally that had been planned for the overflow crowd was canceled because there was no overflow crowd. Question: what happened?
Let me explain. When it comes to understanding how the rallies work, it's a first-come, first-served basis. Basically, what the 1 million RSVPs include, it's an opportunity for us to gather data, to get information, obviously. The fact that over 5.3 million people watched it on all of our digital media channels. And so the reach was far and wide. And that doesn't even include the TV numbers. We also did a pre-rally show, and that was over 2 million views. So, you know, we're living in a virtual time as well.
Mercedes, if I can.
Yes.
The fact is the president talks about the attendance at his events. As we all know, he made a big issue of the attendance at his inauguration. He talks about how he can fill an arena and that Joe Biden can't. He didn't fill an arena last night, and you guys were so far off. Let me, if I may finish, and you guys were so far off that you had planned an outdoor rally, and there wasn't an overflow crowd. And watching the coverage and talking to Mark Meredith on the ground today, protesters did not stop people from coming to that rally. The fact is,
oh, absolutely they did.
People didn't show up.
I'm telling you, there were people. I'm telling you, there were people and families that didn't want to, couldn't bring their children because of concerns of the protesters.
We're showing pictures here.
Time, we're going
Mercedes,
into
we're showing
over 5.3 million views that we saw online.
Mercedes, please don't filibuster. Mercedes, please don't filibuster. We're showing pictures here, and it shows big, empty areas. Frankly, it makes you guys look silly when you deny the reality of what happened. And as far as, you know, the social distancing
we're not denying the
and
reality
circles on
of
the
what.
floor.
I don't know what you're saying. That are you? I'm telling you.
There were empty seats there.
Joe Biden
there were at least a third, if not a half, of the rally was empty. The arena was empty.
I'm going to say this again.
I mean, you can't deny it.
I'm going to say this again. The president went out to talk directly to the American people, to talk about the failed record of Joe Biden. You want to make a comparison? There is no such thing as a Joe Biden rally.
Mercedes, you're shifting to a campaign speech, which has nothing to do with the attendance of the rally. Let's talk about the poll. Let's talk about the polls. As we pointed out, the president is trailing Joe Biden in the latest Fox poll by 12 points, 50% to 38%. If you look at swing states, Biden leads in 5 of them and is basically tied in the 6th, North Carolina. And one of the big reasons for the president's recent drop appears to be that 31% approve of his response to the protest after George Floyd's death, and 56% disapprove. Mercedes, by wide margins, people in the Fox poll think that Joe Biden respects racial minorities and President Trump does not.
If you want to see the record of Joe Biden, it's one in which he proudly embraced segregationists. I mean, even his colleagues like Senator Kamala Harris basically accused him of being a racist.
Let's take the case of Mary Elizabeth Taylor, who was an assistant secretary of state, and she was a member of the administration until she quit this week, and she issued this statement that I want to put on the screen. The president's comments and actions surrounding racial injustice and black Americans cut sharply against my core values and convictions. Mercedes, this is a committed Republican saying she doesn't want to be part of the Trump administration.
Well, I wish that Mary Elizabeth would listen to the president's speech following the tragedy of George Floyd's death.
You know, I've got to tell you, Mercedes, you've got to answer my questions and stop making campaign speeches. I want to ask you about John Bolton's new book.
I don't think he's fit for office. I don't think he has the competence to carry out the job. There really isn't any guiding principle that I was able to discern other than what's good for Donald Trump's reelection.
But it's not just John Bolton. He joins a list including Rex Tillerson, Jim Mattis, and John Kelly. How do you explain this list of top officials, all of those in the national security area, not only breaking with the president, but questioning his fitness for office?
John Bolton lacks credibility, just like President George Bush
And what
said
about Rex Tillerson and Jim Mattis and John Kelly?
Let's be real. When it comes to
Mercedes?
Joe Biden, he's...